What's up, guys? Welcome back again to the Crest of Courage card game channel. Today we're going to be checking out my Gomamon X or Plesiomon X deck profile. It's also a little bit of blue hybrid mixed in there because this deck is really good at just stripping sources and preventing your opponent from attacking and blocking. And it's actually a ton of fun. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So starting off with the eggs, of course, as always, I am currently playing for Bukamon, who just has the effect that when your opponent has no Digimon with more digivolution cards than this Digimon gains jamming. So it's just really easy to get jamming, and it's a really strong egg, which is of course why it is about to get limited to 1 here very shortly. Now when that does happen, I plan on switching either to the old Upamon that lets you draw 1 when attacking if your opponent has like no Digimon with digivolution cards or whatever, or the Wanyamon that lets you draw 1 when attacking if you have a blue tamer, because we have a lot of blue tamers in this deck. Pretty much either one seems fine, and drawing stuff is always good, but I am going to miss the jamming that this Bukamon gives us. Alright, but moving right along, next up into the rookies here, our level 3s. For our first one here, we have Gomamon from BT15, who has start of your main phase, trash any 1 digivolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon, and then this Digimon can't be blocked for the turn, so a really strong effect. Just right off the bat gets us trashing digivolution cards, and he can't be blocked for the turn, which is really nice when you have the Bukamon egg to give him jamming, and then it's just a free check, really easy. But then he also has the inheritable effect that when this Digimon would be deleted, you may play 1 Gomamon from its digivolution cards without paying the cost. So that's really nice. You basically just get to play this right back out if one of your higher level Digimon gets deleted, which is really awesome. And then we have this promo Gomamon that just has the inheritable effect for when you trash a digivolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon, gain 1 memory. This is really strong with a lot of our champions and even ultimates that we're running. A lot of them have effects to when Digivolve trash digivolution cards, so this gains us a back of memory pretty much every time we Digivolve, which is really good at letting us keep turn when we need to, Digivolve up the stacks and everything. And last but not least here, we also have Gomamon X, who has on play or when Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Sea Beast, Plesiosaur, Beastkin, or X Antibody traits among them to your hand, and return the rest to the bottom of the deck. So that's great because obviously we really needed a searcher for Gomamon, and we finally got us one here, and he's pretty good. He, of course, Digivolves for 0 on a Gomamon like all the other X Antibodies, and he also has, when attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon with as many or fewer Digivolution cards as this Digimon can't attack until the end of their turn. So that's really strong, especially if you pair that with the BT14 Gomamon, because start of your turn, you can trash a Digivolution card and say that this Digimon can't be blocked. Then if you Digivolve into this, get your search, and Digivolve something on top of it again, then you'll have, when you attack, you'll have jamming from the Bukamon. You can't be blocked because of the Gomamon, and because of this, one of your opponent's Digimon also can't attack you. So it's just, really locks down your opponent. It's really great. But that is it for the rookies. So on to our level 4s here. Of course, we got to play 4 of the BT14 Ikakumon, who has when Digivolving, trash any 2 Digivolution cards from your opponent's Digimon, and when attacking once per turn, till the end of your opponent's turn, one of your opponent's Digimon with fewer Digivolution cards than this Digimon can't attack. So again, we're just really locking down our opponent from being able to attack us or block or anything. And then he has the same effect as an inheritable when attacking once per turn till the end of your opponent's turn. One of their Digimon with fewer Digivolution cards than this one can't attack. So yeah, just really great. More trashing Digivolution cards, and more locking them down and everything. And like I said, we have a lot of tamers in this deck. So of course we're running 4 Kumamons, who has the effect that you may Digivolve him from your hand on one of your blue tamers as if it was a level 3 blue Digimon. And when Digivolving, trash 1 Digivolution card from the bottom of one of your opponent's Digimon. So again, just when Digivolving, trashing a Digivolution card. And of course, hybrid for game is always an option. Just being able to Digivolve on our tamers gives us, a much wider variety of what we can Digivolve on at any time. Whether you want to Digivolve on top of our Gomamon, maybe, that has the inheritable that when you trash a Digivolution card, gain a memory, that's great. Or you just go into a tamer to attack them that way is also good. And then we've just got 2 Korikakumons. One thing I wanted to point out was Kumamon does have Beastkin as a trait, so he is searchable from our Gomamon X. Unfortunately, this guy only has Beast, so he's not searchable, so keep that in mind. And we're only running 2 of him. Now, he does Digivolve for 3 on a level 3 or for 1 on a level 4. So you can digivolve him, on top of Kumamon or Ikakumon if you really wanted to. Or you can digivolve him on one of your blue tamers for a cost of 2, which is really nice. You probably want to do that most of the time. But he has when digivolving, if a card with hybrid in his traits or Tommy-Himi is in this Digimon's digivolution cards, one of your opponent's Digimon with no digivolution cards can't attack or block until the end of their turn. Again, just locking down your opponent that much more. Plus, sometimes being 6k attacker can be nice. He is stronger than all of our other level 4s. And being able to digivolve for 1 on a level 4 is really good because, it lets us kind of get even bigger stacks throughout the game, which, later on, it just makes it that much easier for us to have more digivolution cards than anybody else. So for that reason, there was a time where I was running 3 and 3 of these guys. But then once I realized I can't search him at all, he was kind of just dead on my searches. That's when I just decided he was better off just being a 4 of and cut him back down to 2. But if you want to do a 3-3 split on them, I think that's still okay. Anyway, this has been working pretty well for me, so that is all for the level 4s. On to the level 5s, of course, we got to play 4 of the new Zudomon Ace. This dude is just so overpowered. Probably one of the best aces we have so far. So of course, hand counter, blast digivolve. When one of their Digimon attacks, you can just digivolve him for free, which is great, but he also has on play, and when digivolving, trash any 2 digivolution cards from your opponent's Digimon, then return one of your opponent's Digimon with no digivolution cards to the hand. And there's no other requirements there besides having no digivolution cards. And let me tell you, when you trash something with a Gomamon, digivolve into like an Ikakumon to trash a couple things, and then digivolve into a Zudomon to trash a couple more things. It's super easy to just bounce like a level 6 or more Digimon to the hand, which is really nuts. And he's only a 4 play cost too, if you want to just hard play him to, trash some digivolution cards and, bounce something back to the hand is also still a strong move to do. But then I've got 2 of the old EX1 Zudomons here. He has when digivolving, trash 1 digivolution card from the bottom of one of your opponent's Digimon, but also your turn, this Digimon can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with no digivolution cards. So this is kind of nice to be able to just control the board that much more. If there's something weaker than him that has no digivolution cards, you just attack over them, just get them out the way before they become a problem. It can be kind of nice to have, but then also I have 2 copies of this old Wergarurumon from the starter deck 2. And this dude's actually pretty great for the deck. He does have Beastkin trait, so he is searchable from our Gomamon X. And he has this great inheritable that your turn, while your opponent has a Digimon with no digivolution cards, this Digimon gets security attack +1. So you just have to have a Digimon with no digivolution cards. It's very, very easy for that to happen in this deck. We're trashing so many digivolution cards. And even if they just like hard play a rookie or something, and that's their fault, I guess. They have something with no digivolution cards, boom, you get security attack +1. So the security attack +1 is really, really great for our level 6s, which we'll talk about right now. All right, so first of all, we have 3 Plesiomons from BT14, who just has when digivolving, trash any 3 digivolution cards from your opponent's Digimon. That's super good. And then when attacking, if your opponent has no Digimon with more digivolution cards than this Digimon, unsuspend this Digimon. So it's really easy to just digivolve into this guy, trash 3 sources from something, and then our Wergarurumon easily just gives us that +1 security. So he can swing 2 checks, unsuspend if there's nothing with more digivolution cards than him, and swing again for another 2 checks. Very, very powerful. And then we also have 3 copies of Plesiomon X Antibody. Yes, technically I don't actually have the 3rd copy yet. I'm currently just kind of subbing in a Vikimon for funsies because I'm still waiting on getting my 3rd one. But ideally I would have 3 Plesiomon X Antibody, who does have the ability to digivolve on a Plesiomon for 2 costs, which is kind of a lot, but he does digivolve for 5 costs normally, which is kind of a lot. But he does have a lot of strong effects here. When digivolving and when attacking once per turn, return one of your opponent's Digimon with as many or fewer digivolution cards as this Digimon to the hand. So when you digivolve, or every turn when you attack, you're returning something to the hand. That's pretty great. And then opponent's turn, when an opponent's Digimon with as many or fewer digivolution cards as this Digimon attacks, if Plesiomon or X antibodies in this Digimon's digivolution cards, cards gain 2 memory. So as long as he's on top of our Plesiomon, then we're going to get 2 memory every time something with fewer digivolution cards than him attacks us. So it's kind of like having a permanent ice wall on the field at all times. Every time they attack, they're losing 2 memory, because the way this deck works, they're probably never going to have more digivolution cards than him. So he's really, really control heavy, and this one's a little bit more offensive. One thing I have been wanting to do, and actually I might just take this guy out for him later, is I do want to kind of squeeze in a Blitz Omnimon to just digivolve. You know, we swing for 4 checks here, and you could just Blitz Omnimon for a game would be pretty good. So, you know, I might actually just keep it at 2, but I'm still kind of messing around with these right here. I do want to at least try out the 3 Plesiomon X for a while, but I would recommend throwing in a Blitz Omnimon and seeing how that does. All right, for the tamers, currently I've got 2 copies of the BT15 Gomamon, who has on play, trash any 1 digivolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon. And your turn, when a digivolution card of an opponent's Digimon is trashed, by suspending this tamer, gain a memory. So, you know, just on play, trash something, and then you permanently can be gaining a memory every turn because we're trashing stuff so often. Not too bad. And then you also have 2 copies of Sorai and Joe, who has start of your main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon with no digivolution cards, gain 2 memory. That's going to happen quite often, so pretty easy to get that 2 memory every turn. And then when one of your blue Digimon attacks, by suspending this tamer, trash up to 2 bottom digivolution cards of one of your opponent's Digimon. So again, every time we attack, we're getting to trash that many more digivolution cards. Honestly, the only thing that kind of sucks about them is they have to have a Digimon in play with no digivolution cards. But as long as they have a Digimon out, it's pretty easy to keep sources off stuff. Then we got 4 copies of Tommy Himi. He's finally off the restricted list, so we can just play him to our heart's content here. Security, you play this card without paying its memory cost, of course. On play, trash 3 digivolution cards from the bottom of one of your opponent's Digimon. That's just insane. 3 digivolution cards is a lot to be trashing for that on play for only 3 cost. And then, of course, since he's the hybrid tamer, he gives us an inheritable effect that when attacking once per turn, till the end of your opponent's next turn, one of your opponent's Digimon with no digivolution cards can't attack or block. So, very powerful inheritable effect for Gomamon and Korikakumon to have. And it can also be great if on top of them you put your Wergarurumon and then you digivolve that up into Plesiomon. Then we're swinging in with 2 checks and they can't block, so that's really strong too. One thing I will say though about the Tommy is sometimes the 4 of seems a little bit much. Like I could probably cut him down to 3 and be fine. If I was to do that, I would definitely swap this out for like a memory setter tamer. Probably like a Davis or something. That way we get another search too. And just to have a memory setter would be nice, because that comboed with these guys getting us 2 memory would be pretty nuts. But so far, that's it for my tamers. All right, onto the options here. Nothing too crazy. We've got 2 copies of Mental Training. Of course, for just 2 costs, you reveal the top 2 cards of your deck, add 1 blue card among them to your hand, and bottom deck the other one, and then the delay effect that you can digivolve one of your blue Digimon and reduce the cost by 2. The only thing that sucks about that is that you can't do this to digivolve your tamers, so just be careful about that. But I do like this a little bit over Blue Memory Boost, because this can search for our tamers, you know, if we really want to grab a tamer or an option card even. So it is nice for that ability. But, you know, you could swap this out for Blue Memory Boost and it'd probably be just as good. And then we got 2 copies of Sorai, which, of course, you know, one of the strongest cards currently. And how could you not play this in this deck? Trash the top 4 digivolution cards of one of your opponent's Digimon, and then until the end of your opponent's turn, your opponent's Digimon with no digivolution cards can't attack. So that's just nuts. For 4 costs, we're pretty much just shutting down our opponent from doing anything for a turn. And then last but not least, we have 2 copies of Wave of Reliability, and it just has, for only 2 costs, you just trash any 2 digivolution cards from your opponent's Digimon. Then if you have a tamer with Jokido in its name, which does count Sora and Joe, you can choose one of your Digimon, and if your opponent has no Digimon with more digivolution cards than the chosen Digimon, you unsuspend it. So of course we can just unsuspend our Plesio or something and get an extra attack in, which is really nice. So that about does it for this deck profile. This deck is actually super fun and really annoying to play against, but I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video or got anything out of it, make sure to smash the like button, because it does help me out a lot, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.